Hi, welcome to Chili's. You come to the right place to find food that doesn't break your bank. If you're trying to impress someone, if you're trying to just cook for yourself, it doesn't have to always be expensive, right? So my channel aims to help you save money and not, it won't break your bank in trying to make food to either impress yourself or that special someone. And it'll help me keep the cost of my videos down because I'm just as broke as you, so I can't really afford to make expensive food either. So I will try my best to make food as low cost as possible. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And on today's video, we are going to be making cookies, and I hope you guys will like it as well. So stay tuned and let's get to it.
The first rule of the 2020 Club is to wash your hands before you do anything, and apparently, you should wash your hands while singing along to the happy birthday song. So go right ahead and invite the stares of your roommate or partner and tell them that I told you that this is an integral part of making cookies. The next thing we're going to do is to tear a bit of parchment paper to put on this measuring scale and measure about 250 grams of unsalted butter. Now, your measuring scale does not have to be as high-tech and beautiful as mine, so don't worry about that. And let's turn it on. Let's turn it on. Let's turn it on. I swear this was working before I shot this video. Come on. Come on.
Great, so now that we have a scale that is not as beautiful, RIP my old scale, let's measure about 300 grams of brown sugar. Now the reason I use brown sugar is not because it has anything to do with my skin tone, but because I like the molassesy, I don't know if that's a word, taste of it. And keep mixing and mixing until it all comes together. And to that we are going to add 2 cold eggs and continue mixing. Now one key thing to remember while making cookies is to keep your butter and eggs cold. It doesn't have to be as cold as your ex's heart because then it will be frozen, and we don't want that either. Add that in and continue mixing. To that we are going to add about 2 shots of coffee flavored whiskey called Cabby, and then take a sip for yourself because it is just that good. If you can't find this whiskey though, you can use any whiskey you have at home. And if you use Johnny Walker's Blue Label, what are you doing on my channel and how do I become as rich as you? Now give all that one good mix and keep it aside for now. Now we are going to chop up about 300 grams of dark chocolate. If you don't have baker's chocolate and want to save some time, you could also buy chocolate chunks or chocolate chips from your store. I just used this because I bought it to make some chocolate mousse. This seems to be taking a little long, so let's jump into hyperspeed. I am speed. 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 Now we're going to measure about 400 grams of all-purpose flour, to which we are going to add a solid tablespoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And if you don't like this taste of sweet and salty, you have the taste buds of a 5-year-old. Fight me. Now we're going to add the bowl of dry ingredients in with the wet ingredients in 2 parts so it is easier to mix, and gently mix it. Now here is where this method differs. Every cookie recipe says you don't want the gluten to develop because it results in a tough cookie. The reason I let it develop a little is because I like the result at the end of baking it the way I do, and if I'm being honest, it is a little easier to do than being extremely careful about it. And the way we're going to mix it is called the cut and fold method, wherein you give a cut in the middle and then fold it in on the sides. We are going to add our chocolate chunks and finish mixing it. Add all of it including the shavings because my motto is no chocolate left behind. And again, be gentle with it. Imagine you're on a first date and feeling a little shy, a little nervous. And if you say you don't get nervous, who are you kidding, huh? Now we're going to scrape off the last bit off the wooden spoon using a spatula and give it a taste or 2. Or 5 like I did off camera because, for science. Now wrap it up in a clear wrap and refrigerate it in, your refrigerator for at least an hour because the butter does not melt as quickly as your heart did while you watched Toy Story 3. Now while that is in the fridge, let's see the damage the recipe did to my bank account. The salt was 0.01, brown sugar was a quarter, oh so good cavi was a whole $1.80, baking soda was 0.0021, flour was 80 cents, the eggs were a quarter, the chocolate was $2, and lastly the beer was $2.50. And using my math boy skills, that adds up to this much. Now take your nice baking tray and place your parchment paper over it. Now take a handful of cookie dough in, your hands and give it a quick roll using the palm of your hands. Press it gently to flatten it. Make some minor adjustments to make it look as flat as the earth. And place them on your tray with about 2 to 4 inches in between each cookie, not because of COVID, but because the cookies will expand in size. Now place it in an oven preheated to 177 degrees Celsius, or for all my scientists, 450.15 kelvins for about 8 to 9 minutes because in this case, size matters. Now at this point, I like to sprinkle a pinch of salt over the cookies. Now, so that you don't burn your hands, learn to be a little patient and wait for about 10 minutes for the cookies to cool down before you transfer them onto a plate. Now for all my fellow Ontarians, pour yourself a glass of milk from a bag of milk. And right after digging into this bad boy, you'll see that the cookie is super soft, chewy, and the chocolate is all melty and amazing, and of course the cookie itself is sweet and salty, which is amazing. Alternatively, you can try refrigerating it for about 30 minutes or so and see the difference in texture. The cookie will still be super soft, but will have a little bit of a bite to it, especially in the areas with the chocolate in it. And I hope you guys liked this first video of mine. Please try the recipe and let me know the results in the comments section and whether you guys liked it or not. And if you guys did like this video, give that button a gentle kiss. I know the production value is the polar opposite of fantastic, but as I learn to make these better, the quality will get better. So if you want to watch my future videos as well, consider subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one.